Hi, this is Margaret from Margaret's Crafts. I want to show you a few hints or ideas that I had come up with. I know I'm probably not the first person, but I just discovered them for myself. While making, I don't know if all you know, but I've been playing around with Copic markers and stamping and digital stamps and then coloring them in. What I've been doing is practicing by using my making Christmas cards. And on this card, I made the little lace on the back with Martha Stewart doily punch. And I just want to show you how I did it. And also on my Cricut using Lacy Labels, I cut out the image and the background. Now I wanted to show you how I did both of those. For the first one, I just took a piece of cardstock. And I found the center using the EK centering tape measure, ruler. So you find exactly where the center is. That's at the 0, and you put a little line. I like to do 2. So when I make my line to connect them, I have a straight line. Then I just connect my line. I always use a pencil for this so I can erase the marks if they're going to show on where I want to put them. Just nice light lines. Now, if you haven't noticed before, on the front of your Martha Stewart border punch, there is a little niche. And all I'm going to do is I'm going to put my paper in, line up that little niche, and punch. And you know from before how you just move your punch down. I'm just going to do a little bit, and then I'm going to flip it over and show you how to do the other side. Okay. Now to do the other side, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to put it in, line it up on that line, and punch. And now you can see that I have a lacy doily, a lacy border or runner start. Now, there's my little lacy runner. You'll just keep down, all the way down, and then all you have to do is erase this little line. That's why you just do the line real light. You can do this in any size. I just happen to have this piece of scrap, and that's what I made mine out of. And then I had tried it again with the smaller scrap. This is a little bit trickier because you can't see the line when you get the paper real small. And I want to show you just what it looks like. There. And you can't get it real lined up good if the paper is real small, but you can still do it. And this is with a wider paper. And this will work on any of her border punches. And then all I did was I just put a piece of ribbon around it and taped it down in the back, and that's how I got my ribbon effect on there. Now for the second part, how I cut my item out. All you do is you take a ruler and you measure from the furthest point that sticks out to the other furthest point that sticks out, and you write down how big that size is. Like I'm going from the tip of her wing, because that sticks out the furthest, to the tip of the horn. Then you're going to write that down, and you're going to cut out on this die cut. It ended up being 3.75. Oh, and you're going to do the tip by the tip, but then you're going to leave a little bit smaller. It's like, this one was like about 3 1/4. So I did it by 3 3/4. So I can have a little bit of a border around it. And then I did the same thing, and it measured out from the tip of the horn to the tip of this toe. And then you cut it out a little bit bigger. And that's how I got that exact cut there. I always cut it out on a scrap sheet of paper first. Then I take my image I'm just going to use another one. I don't have one of those ready. Then I take my image and I just lay it over my image. This is like my window to see what size will fit. You know, make sure everything fits in that I want it to fit in. After I cut my sample and I know it's the right size, that everything will cut out right. Okay, is this the right? Yeah. Next thing, when I know that everything will cut out right, that nothing is being cut off or nothing that I don't want being cut off, I take another piece of cardstock, because sometimes I have to cut a couple of them to get them just right. Then I take another piece of cardstock and I'll line it up. I'll take another piece of cardstock and I'm lining it up, and I'll line up the exact corner after I figure out what size I want. The exact corner, and I'll cut it out again using a piece of cardstock that I've marked. Then I've marked what size. I don't know if you can see this. Up in the corner over here, I've marked what cartridge I used, what size that this is cut. And I'll cut that out. And after I cut that out, then I'll take my image. I'll leave this down and just lift up the bottom, the top of it, whichever way I want to lift it up, because I don't want to move it. And I'll put my image in, just making sure I hold everything still, and get my image in exactly where I want it to cut. Sometimes I have to cut the image, the spacing out on the side of the image to get it to fit in so the rollers will still roll on it. And I'll get the item where I want it. If that's the right place, then I'll just lift this up, make sure this is adhered down real good, and then I'll put it through my my Cricut, and it's already set up, and I'll just hit the cut again, and then I'll get my first cut of the size of the image. Then I'll save that. I'll go back in and just make the same exact image, but a 1/4 of an inch bigger, or if you want it larger than that, to make my border. Like with this one, I did a double cut and just did one 1/4 of an inch, and then I cut this one 1/4 of an inch larger than this one. I did the exact same thing, and I keep all of these and mark them in the corner so I'll know exactly which one I have there, and it's the exact same cut. So if when I use this image again, I'll have the same cut. And with making it fit, you just go onto Lacy Labels. That's the one I used. You unlock your height and width key so that you can have it, you can stretch it or shrink it to the size that you want it to be. Thanks for watching my video. Bye.